First contact and deception. The vast expanse of space had long been Earth's silent guardian, shielding humanity from the prying eyes of a bustling galactic community. For centuries, Earth had remained hidden, a blue marble lost in the cosmic ocean. But on a crisp autumn morning in 2157, that illusion of isolation shattered like glass. High above the planet's surface, in the secret orbital command center known as Olympus, General Evelyn Chen stood rigid, her eyes fixed on the holographic display before her. A single blip, pulsing an angry red, approached Earth's solar system. "Confirmation, please," she ordered, her voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. Lieutenant Santos, manning the advanced sensor array, nodded grimly. "Confirmed, General. Unknown vessel, approximately 2.5 kilometers in length. Energy signatures unlike anything in our database." Chen's mind raced. This was the moment humanity had been preparing for over a century. Since the discovery of the Proxima signal in 2084, a brief, powerful burst of clearly artificial origin, Earth's nations had united in secret, pouring resources into a covered space program. The signal had been both a warning and a catalyst, spurring humanity to reach for the stars, while simultaneously preparing for the day they might need to defend their home. "Initiate Protocol Omega," Chen commanded, "and get me the Security Council. It's time." As alarms blared silently in government facilities across the globe, the alien vessel decelerated, taking up orbit around Jupiter. For 3 tense days, it sat motionless, undoubtedly scanning the solar system. Then, without warning, it moved, crossing the vast distance to Earth in a matter of hours. The ship that appeared in low Earth orbit was a behemoth of gleaming metal and pulsing energy fields. Its arrival sent waves of panic through the populace, as governments worldwide struggled to maintain order while enacting long-prepared contingency plans. It was on the 4th day that the aliens made their move. A smaller craft detached from the mothership, descending towards the United Nations headquarters in New York. As it touched down on the manicured lawn, a hush fell over the gathered crowd of journalists, officials, and curious onlookers. The craft's sleek hull shimmered, and a doorway materialized. From it emerged 3 figures, each over 7 feet tall, with iridescent skin and multiple arms. They moved with a fluid grace that belied their size. UN Secretary General Adebayo stepped forward, flanked by a diverse group of Earth's leaders. His voice, amplified by hidden speakers, rang out clear and welcoming. "On behalf of the people of Earth, we bid you welcome." The central alien figure raised 2 of its upper arms, palms outward in what seemed to be a gesture of peace. When it spoke, the words came not from its mouth-like orifice, but from a small device on its chest. "Greetings, humans of Earth. We are representatives of the galactic hegemony, come to welcome you into the fold of advanced civilizations." What followed was a carefully choreographed dance of diplomacy. The aliens, calling themselves the Zarkari, spoke of a vast empire spanning thousands of worlds. They offered knowledge, technology, and protection, all in exchange for Earth's allegiance and resources. To the public eye, Earth's leaders appeared overwhelmed, even grateful. Secretary General Adebayo's voice trembled with apparent emotion as he addressed the world. "This is a momentous day for humanity. We stand on the threshold of a new era, ready to take our place among the stars." But behind closed doors, a very different scene unfolded. In a secure bunker beneath the UN building, Earth's true power brokers gathered. General Chen's holographic image flickered as she addressed the assembly. "The Zarkari ship matches our predictions almost exactly," she reported. "Their technology, while advanced, is not beyond our comprehension. More importantly, they seem unaware of our true capabilities." President Emilia Vasquez of the North American Union leaned forward, her eyes sharp. "Then our deception is working. They see us as they expect to, a primitive world ripe for exploitation." Indeed, Chinese Premier Li Jing agreed. Their offer of protection is nothing more than thinly veiled imperialism. They expect us to be awed by their technology, grateful for their attention. African Federation Chancellor Kwesi Ose's deep voice rumbled with barely contained anger. They think us children, easily manipulated. How long must we maintain this charade? General Chen's image shifted as she pulled up new data. Our hidden fleet is ready. The Zarkari mothership is formidable, but from what we've observed, our Phantom-class destroyer should be more than a match. We can strike at any time. A murmur ran through the assembled leaders. The hidden fleet, developed in secret lunar bases and asteroid facilities, represented the pinnacle of human ingenuity and determination. Powered by zero-point energy and equipped with gravity manipulation technology, they were centuries beyond what the Zarkari believed possible for Earth. Secretary General Adebayo raised a hand, silencing the room. No, we must be patient. If we reveal our hand too soon, we risk bringing the full might of this galactic hegemony down upon us. We need more information. Agreed, said Dr. Yuki Tanaka, head of Earth's Xenoscience Division. Every moment we spend in talks with the Zarkari is a moment our AIs and quantum computers spend analyzing their technology, their language, their very thought patterns. We're learning more about them than they could possibly imagine. The room fell silent as the implications sank in. Humanity, long isolated, stood at a crossroads. The path ahead was fraught with danger, but also burned bright with possibility. Very well, Adebayo said at last. We continue as planned. Maintain the deception. Let them think us eager, grateful, perhaps a little afraid. Meanwhile, we prepare. The moment they try to press their advantage, the moment they show their true colors, we reveal ours. As the meeting adjourned, General Chen found herself alone with Adebayo. The Secretary General's facade of wide-eyed optimism had fallen away, replaced by a look of grim determination. "Do you think we can pull this off, Evelyn?" he asked softly. Chen's holographic image flickered as she straightened her uniform. "We've been preparing for this moment for generations, sir. Our ancestors looked to the stars and saw not just beauty, but potential threat. They poured their genius into creating defenses the galaxy couldn't imagine. We are their legacy." Adebayo nodded, a small smile playing at the corners of his mouth. "Indeed we are. And soon, the galactic hegemony will learn what it means to underestimate humanity." As Chen's image faded, Adebayo turned to look out the reinforced window. In the distance, the alien ship hovered, a silent sentinel. Little did the Zarkari know, but their arrival had not heralded Earth's submission to a galactic order. Instead, it had signaled the beginning of humanity's ascension to the stars. In labs and secret facilities around the world, human scientists and engineers worked tirelessly, reverse engineering every scrap of data gleaned from the alien visitors. In hidden shipyards on Mars and deep within the asteroid belt, the final touches were being put on humanity's masterpiece, a fleet that would shake the very foundations of the galaxy. The stage was set. The pieces were in motion. And as the Zarkari congratulated themselves on their easy conquest, humanity prepared to unveil a power that would change the course of galactic history forever. The unveiling. 3 months had passed since the Zarkari's arrival, and the facade of Earth's compliance was beginning to wear thin. In the gilded conference rooms of the United Nations, human diplomats feigned enthusiasm as they negotiated the terms of Earth's integration into the galactic hegemony. But beneath the smiles and handshakes, a storm was brewing. Admiral Zhao Lin, commander of Earth's hidden fleet, stood before a holographic projection of the solar system in the heart of the Olympus station. Red dots representing Zarkari ships had begun to proliferate, a silent invasion under the guise of scientific outposts and cultural exchanges. "They're getting bolder," Zhao observed, his weathered face etched with concern. "The Zarkari are establishing a presence on Mars, and they're pushing for access to our lunar facilities." General Chen nodded grimly. "It's time. We can't risk them discovering our true capabilities. Initiate Operation Thunderbolt." As Zhao turned to leave, Chen caught his arm. "Lin, remember, shock, and awe. We need to send a message not just to the Zarkari, but to the entire hegemony. The Admiral's eyes glinted with anticipation. Oh, they'll get the message, all right. Across the solar system, hidden doors began to open. In the depths of Mars' Valles Marineris, massive hangar bays slid apart, revealing sleek warships that had never seen the light of day. Within the asteroid belt, entire planetoids shimmered and vanished, their rocky exteriors giving way to reveal state-of-the-art shipyards and defense platforms. But the real surprise came from Earth itself. As the Zarkari flagship, the imposing Celestial Fist, moved to take up a dominating position over New York, the waters of the Atlantic began to churn. On the bridge of the Celestial Fist, Supreme Commander Corax watched with smug satisfaction as his ship cast its shadow over the human city. "Send word to the diplomatic team," he ordered. "It's time to drop the pretense. Inform the humans that they have one planetary rotation to submit to full hegemony control or face the consequences." His second-in-command, Velena, looked uncertain. "Sir, is this wise? The humans have been cooperative." Corax cut her off with a dismissive wave of his upper arms. "They're primitives, Velena. They've barely mastered sublight travel. This show of force will have them groveling at our feet." As if in response to his words, alarms began blaring across the Celestial Fist's bridge. Velena rushed to a sensor station, her iridescent skin paling. "Sir, massive energy spike detected. Something's emerging from the planet's ocean." Corax had barely processed her words when the view screen lit up with an impossible sight. From the roiling waters of the Atlantic rose a colossus of metal and energy, a warship easily matching the Celestial Fist in size, its hull gleaming with an alloy unknown to hegemony science, ascended on pillars of blue flame that seemed to defy the laws of physics themselves. "Impossible," Corax breathed, all four of his eyes wide with disbelief. The human vessel, christened the HS Prometheus, hung in the air before the Celestial Fist, like a mirror image from some advanced future. For a moment, silence reigned. Then, with a flash of energy, the Prometheus vanished, only to reappear instantly on the Celestial Fist's starboard side. Across all frequencies, in perfect Zarkari, a message boomed. "Attention hegemony forces. This is Admiral Zhaolin of the Earth Defense Fleet. Your presence here is no longer welcome. You have 1 hour to withdraw from Earth's solar system, or face the consequences of your aggression." Chaos erupted on the Celestial Fist's bridge. Corax, his composure shattered, began barking orders. "Battle stations, bring weapons online. Contact the rest of the fleet." His words died in his throat as the sensor officer called out, "Sir, we're detecting similar energy signatures throughout the system. Hundreds, no, thousands of ships. Indeed, across the solar system, humanity's hidden fleet revealed itself. Phantom-class destroyers shimmered into existence around Mars, their sleek forms belying devastating firepower. From Jupiter's moons, massive carriers emerged, disgorging swarms of fighter craft that moved with impossible agility. And from the asteroid belt, dreadnoughts the size of small moons lumbered into view, their hulls bristling with weapon systems beyond Zarkari comprehension. On Earth, in cities around the globe, humans poured into the streets, cheering as their hidden protectors revealed themselves at last. The sight of the Prometheus hovering defiantly before the alien invaders was broadcast worldwide, a symbol of humanity's true strength and ingenuity. In the UN's secure bunker, Earth's leaders watched the unfolding scene with a mixture of pride and trepidation. Secretary General Adebayo turned to General Chin, whose holographic image stood among them. "It appears the Zarkari were not as prepared for this eventuality as we were for theirs." Chen's image nodded, a grim smile on her face. "Humanity has always excelled at preparing for the worst. Sir, our paranoia, it seems, has paid off." As the hour deadline approached, the Zarkari fleet found itself hopelessly outmatched and outmaneuvered. The Earth ships demonstrated technologies that, by the hegemony's understanding, should have been centuries beyond human capability. Gravity weapons pulled Zarkari cruisers off course, while human fighters blinked in and out of existence, evading all attempts at targeting. With minutes to spare, Supreme Commander Korak swallowed his pride and opened a channel to the Prometheus. Admiral Zhao's stern visage filled the screen. "We," Korak struggled to form the words, "we will comply with your demand to withdraw. But know this, humans, the hegemony will not forget this humiliation. We will return, and in greater numbers." Zhao's expression remained impassive. "We will be ready, Commander. We always have been." As the Zarkari fleet retreated, limping out of the solar system with their pride in tatters, humanity celebrated. But in the halls of power, the mood was more subdued. The leaders of Earth knew that this was only the beginning. In orbit high above the planet, aboard the Prometheus, Admiral Zhao and General Chen stood side by side, watching the last of the alien ships vanish into the depths of space. "They'll be back," Chen said softly. "And not just the Zarkari. Once word of this spreads, the entire hegemony will take notice." Zhao nodded, his eyes fixed on the stars. "Let them come. Humanity has hidden in the shadows for too long. It's time we took our place on the galactic stage." As if in response to his words, a comm officer approached. "Admiral, General, we're receiving transmissions from across the galaxy. It seems news of our victory is spreading fast. We're getting messages from other subjugated worlds. They're asking for help, for alliance." Chen and Zhao exchanged a look. The implications were staggering. Earth, long isolated, now stood poised to become a beacon of hope for oppressed species throughout the galaxy. "Well," Chen said, a hint of wonder in her voice, "it seems the unveiling of our fleet was just the first step. Humanity's greatest challenge, and perhaps its greatest adventure, lies ahead." As the Prometheus turned back towards Earth, its powerful engines pulsing with energy unknown to the wider galaxy, humanity stood on the precipice of a new era. The veil of secrecy had been lifted, and with it, the shackles of isolation. The stars, once distant and unreachable, now beckoned with the promise of allies to be made, tyrants to be toppled, and a galaxy to be reshaped. The Earth Defense Fleet, humanity's hidden guardians, had been revealed, and the galactic hegemony would never be the same. Diplomatic tensions. The grand hall of the galactic hegemony's capital world, Zarkon Prime, buzzed with an energy not felt in millennia. Representatives from 1,000 worlds filled the chamber, their varied forms a testament to the diversity of life in the galaxy. But today, all eyes were fixed on the newcomers, the human delegation from Earth. At the center of the storm stood Ambassador Sarah Chen, daughter of General Evelyn Chen. Her posture was relaxed, but her eyes were sharp, taking in every detail of the alien assembly. Flanking her were Dr. Yuki Tanaka and Major Diego Ortiz, Earth's foremost experts in xenobiology and military strategy, respectively. High Arbiter Xantal, the eldest and most respected of the Zarkari, called the session to order. His voice, amplified by unseen technology, echoed through the chamber. "We are gathered here today to address the unprecedented events in the Sol system. The planet Earth, previously classified as a pre-spaceflight civilization, has revealed itself to possess technology rivaling, if not surpassing, our own." His upper arms gestured towards the human delegation. "We demand an explanation for this deception." Ambassador Chen stepped forward, her voice clear and unwavering. "High Arbiter, esteemed members of the hegemony, we come before you not as deceivers, but as protectors of our world, our people, and our right to self-determination." A murmur ran through the crowd. Chen continued, "For centuries, humanity has looked to the stars with both wonder and caution. When we intercepted transmissions from your civilization, we realized we were not alone. But we also realized the potential dangers that knowledge brought." She activated a holographic display, showing historical images of Earth's wars, environmental disasters, and social upheavals. Our history is marked by conflict, by the strong attempting to dominate the weak. We saw in the stars the potential for both allies and conquerors, so we prepared, in secret, for either eventuality. The Droxy representative, a being of pure energy contained within a crystalline structure, pulsed with agitation. You speak of preparation, human, but your actions show paranoia and deceit. How can the hegemony trust a species that would go to such lengths to mislead us? Dr. Tanaka stepped forward, her calm demeanor a counterpoint to the Droxy's agitation. With respect, Honorable Droxy, our actions were born of caution, not malice. Consider the actions of the Zarkari expedition upon discovering Earth. They did not approach us as equals, but as conquerors in waiting, offering protection in exchange for resources. She gestured to Supreme Commander Korax, who sat seething in the Zarkari section. Had we revealed our true capabilities from the start, would we have been welcomed as peers, or would we have been seen as a threat to be eliminated? The chamber erupted in shouts and arguments. Species that had long chafed under hegemony rule saw in Earth a potential ally, while older, more established powers saw a threat to the status quo. High Arbiter Xantal raised all four of his arms, calling for silence. Ambassador Chen, while your explanations are intriguing, they do not address the core of our concerns. The level of technology your world has displayed should be impossible for a species of your development stage. We require a full accounting of how you achieved such advancements. Chen's expression hardened. With all due respect, High Arbiter, the technological achievements of Earth are not up for discussion. We come here as equals, not as subjects to be interrogated. The Zarkari delegation bristled at this, but before they could respond, a new voice cut through the tension. Vexera, representative of the cybernetic Quilleri, spoke. Perhaps instead of demanding answers, we should be asking questions of ourselves. How is it that a primitive world, isolated from the galactic community, has managed to surpass us in so many ways? She turned her glowing optical sensors towards the human delegation. I, for one, am curious about the path that led humanity to such rapid advancement. Not to steal your secrets, but to understand a perspective that we, in our complacency, may have lost. Ambassador Chen nodded appreciatively at Vexera. Your curiosity honors us, Representative. While we cannot divulge the specifics of our technological development, we can share the principles that guided us. She began to pace, her words carrying across the chamber. Humanity's greatest strength has always been our diversity, of thought, of culture, of approach. When we realized we were not alone in the universe, we did not unite out of fear, but out of hope and determination. Major Ortiz stepped forward, his military bearing drawing the attention of the more martial species in the chamber. We took the brightest minds from every field, from every nation, and gave them a singular purpose, to push the boundaries of what was possible. We embraced radical ideas. We learned to think beyond our limitations. Dr. Tanaka added, and perhaps most importantly, we never assumed that our way was the only way. We looked to nature, to the fundamental laws of the universe, and asked not how can we use this, but how can we understand this. It was this shift in perspective that led to our greatest breakthroughs. The chamber had grown quiet, many representatives leaning forward, captivated by the human's words. But the peace was short-lived. Supreme Commander Korax surged to his feet, his iridescent skin flushed with anger. Pretty words to disguise a deadly threat. The humans speak of peace and understanding, but they revealed themselves with warships and weaponry beyond our comprehension. I say we act now, before they can consolidate their power further. His outburst sparked a new round of arguments. Battle lines were being drawn, those who saw Earth as a threat to be contained, and those who saw an opportunity for change in a stagnant galaxy. High Arbiter Xantal struggled to maintain order. As the shouting reached a fever pitch, Ambassador Chen exchanged a glance with her team. With a subtle nod, Dr. Tanaka activated a device on her wrist. Suddenly, the chamber was plunged into darkness. Cries of alarm turned to gasps of wonder as the ceiling seemed to disappear, replaced by a stunning view of the galaxy. Stars swirled and danced, nebulae bloomed like cosmic flowers. And there, at the edge of an unremarkable spiral arm, a tiny blue dot pulsed. Chen's voice, soft but clear, cut through the awed silence. "This is Earth, seen from the edge of our galaxy. A pale blue dot, as one of our scientists once called it. From this distance, our wars, our triumphs, our whole history is invisible. And yet, from this insignificant mote of dust came the power to challenge an empire." The galactic image zoomed in, showing Earth in all its vibrant detail, its swirling clouds, its vast oceans, its green and brown landmasses. We did not develop our technology to conquer or to dominate. We did it because we looked up at the night sky and dared to dream. We did it because we believed that the universe was not something to be feared, but to be explored, to be understood. As the lights slowly came back up, Chen faced the assembly, her expression resolute. "We come before you today, not as conquerors, not as subjects, but as fellow travelers in this vast cosmic ocean. Earth stands ready to share our knowledge, our perspective, our drive for innovation. But we will do so as equals, or not at all." The chamber remained silent for a long moment. Then, from the back, a voice called out, the representative of a small, often overlooked species. "I move that we recognize Earth as a full member of the galactic community, with all rights and responsibilities therein." Another voice joined, then another. Soon, a chorus of agreement drowned out the protests of the old guard. High Arbiter Xantal, seeing the tide of opinion, raised his arms for silence. "It seems," he said, his voice carrying a mix of resignation and intrigue, "that the galaxy is changing. Perhaps it is time we changed with it." He turned to the human delegation. "Ambassador Chen, we have much to discuss." As negotiations began in earnest, the human team shared a look of cautious optimism. The first battle had been won, but the war for Earth's place in the galaxy was far from over. Tensions simmered beneath the surface of diplomatic niceties, and the threat of conflict loomed. But for now, humanity had earned its seat at the cosmic table, not through conquest, but through the very ingenuity and determination that had brought them to the stars. Imperial assault and Earth's defense. The tense peace that had settled over the galaxy in the wake of Earth's diplomatic victory was shattered in an instant. Supreme Commander Korax, his pride wounded and his position in the hegemony threatened, had made his move. A vast armada of Zarkari warships, augmented by reluctant allies and mercenaries, dropped out of faster-than-light travel at the edge of Earth's solar system. In the war room of the Olympus station, alarms blared as sensor data flooded in. General Evelyn Chen's face was grim as she addressed the holographic avatars of Earth's Defense Council. "Ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've prepared for has arrived. The Zarkari fleet outnumbers us 3-1, but numbers aren't everything. Admiral Zhao, status of our forces." Admiral Lin Zhao's hologram nodded sharply. "Our fleet is deployed and ready, General. The Prometheus and her battle group are taking point, with our carrier groups providing fighter support. Our stealth corvettes are in position for hit-and-run attacks." Dr. Yuki Tanaka, recently returned from the diplomatic mission, spoke up. "What of our allies?" The Quilleri promised support. As if in answer, a new hologram flickered to life. The sleek, cybernetic form of Admiral Vexera of the Quilleri. "We have not forgotten our debt to Earth, Dr. Tanaka. Our fastest ships are en route, but the main fleet won't arrive for several hours. You must hold until then." General Chen's expression hardened. "We'll do more than hold, Admiral. Humanity didn't come this far to fall at the first real test." She turned to the assembled leaders. "Initiate Operation Theta. All hands to battle stations." As the war room erupted into action, the scene shifted to the bridge of that HFY Prometheus. Captain Aisha Okafor stood at the helm, her dark eyes focused on the tactical display. The enemy fleet was advancing in a standard wedge formation, their capital ships protected by screens of smaller vessels. Tactical analysis, Okafor commanded. Lieutenant Commander Jackson's fingers flew over his console. Their technology is mostly on par with what we've seen before, Captain. But there are anomalies, energy signatures we can't identify. They may have a few surprises up their sleeves. Okafor nodded grimly. So do we. Helm, initiate Mobius protocol. Weapons, prepare to fire on my mark. As the Zarkari fleet entered the inner solar system, they were met with an awesome sight. The Earth Defense Fleet hung in space before them, a wall of advanced technology and human determination. At its center, the Prometheus seemed to shimmer and distort, as if reality itself was bending around it. On the bridge of the Zarkari flagship, the Eternal Dominion, Supreme Commander Corax allowed himself a moment of doubt. The human ships were fewer in number, yes, but there was something about them. An air of quiet confidence that unsettled him. No matter, he growled, pushing the thought aside. All ships, commence attack pattern Sigma. Show these upstart humans the true might of the hegemony. The space between the fleets lit up with energy weapons and missile trails. The Zarkari advance was relentless, their superior numbers allowing them to absorb losses as they pushed forward. But the Earth fleet was far from helpless. Captain Okafor's voice rang out clear and strong. Mobius Protocol, Stage 2. All ships, execute. What happened next would be studied in war colleges across the galaxy for centuries to come. The Earth fleet, previously holding a static defensive line, suddenly burst into motion. Ships blinked in and out of existence, appearing behind enemy lines, striking, and vanishing before the Zarkari could respond. The Prometheus itself seemed to be everywhere at once. One moment, it was unleashing a devastating broadside against a Zarkari cruiser. The next, it was clear across the battlefield, using its advanced point defense systems to shield a group of Earth fighters. In the Olympus war room, Dr. Tanaka watched the battle unfold with a mixture of awe and concern. The Mobius protocol is working better than we could have hoped, she observed. But the power drain must be enormous. General Chen nodded, her eyes never leaving the tactical display. We knew the risks when we developed this technology. Our ships can bend space-time to a degree, but not indefinitely. We need to press our advantage while we have it. Back on the battlefield, the Zarkari fleet was in disarray. Their rigid command structure, so effective in traditional engagements, was proving a liability against the fluid, unpredictable movements of the Earth ships. Supreme Commander Corax, his composure slipping, barked orders to his fleet. Titan formation. Concentrate fire on their flagship. Where are those damned Silene mercenaries? As if in answer, a new group of ships dropped out of FTL at the edge of the battle. The Silene, infamous pirates and mercenaries, had arrived to honor their contract with the Zarkari. Their ships, a hodgepodge of stolen and modified vessels from a dozen species, added a chaotic element to the already frenzied battle. Captain Okafor, seeing the new threat, made a snap decision. All fighters, form up on me. We're going to give our Silene friends a proper welcome. The Prometheus, flanked by swarms of Earth's advanced fighter craft, surged towards the Silene fleet. As they closed in, Okafor gave the order, deploy the Emperor system. From the bow of the Prometheus, a pulse of energy unlike anything seen before in the galaxy erupted. It washed over the Silene ships, and for a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then, one by one, the mercenary vessels began to power down, their systems overloaded by the pulse. In the Olympus war room, cheers erupted. Dr. Tanaka allowed herself a small smile. The electromagnetic pulse emitter and reactor overload system worked perfectly. The Silene ships will be out of commission for hours. But the victory was short-lived. Supreme Commander Corax, seeing his mercenary allies neutralized, made a desperate gamble. All ships disengage from the human fleet. Converge on their homeworld. If we can't defeat their navy, we'll force their surrender by threatening their civilians. The Zarkari fleet, battered but still numerous, began to push past the Earth defenses, making a beeline for the blue planet behind them. General Chen's face paled. They're going for Earth itself. Our orbital defenses are formidable, but against a fleet that size. Admiral Zhao's hologram flickered as he sent new orders to his fleet. All ships, fall back to Earth orbit. Prepare for last stand defense protocols. As the battered Earth fleet regrouped around their homeworld, the situation looked grim. The Zarkari fleet, while bloodied, still outnumbered them significantly. On Earth's surface, civilians huddled in shelters, watching the sky with fear and hope. But humanity had one last card to play. In a secret facility deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, a team of Earth's brightest minds worked feverishly. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, lead scientist of Project JIA, looked up from her console, her eyes shining with a mix of excitement and trepidation. "It's ready," she announced to the facility's overseer. "JIA is online." As the Zarkari fleet closed in on Earth, prepared to unleash a devastating orbital bombardment, the planet itself seemed to come alive. The oceans began to glow with an ethereal blue light, and the very atmosphere crackled with energy. On the bridge of the Eternal Dominion, Supreme Commander Korax watched in disbelief as his sensors went haywire. What is this? What are the humans doing? He never got his answer. In that moment, Earth unleashed its ultimate defense. The GAIA system, a planet-wide network of gravity manipulators, weather control stations, and energy projectors, activated as one. Massive gravitational waves rippled out from the planet, catching the Zarkari ships and tossing them about like toys. Controlled lightning storms lashed out from the upper atmosphere, overloading shields and frying systems. And from the oceans rose pillars of superheated plasma, spearing through capital ships as if they were made of paper. In the span of a few breathtaking minutes, the tide of battle had turned completely. The once mighty Zarkari fleet was in ruins, those ships still operational fleeing in panic. As the dust settled, Captain Okuffer's voice crackled over the comms to the Olympus station. "General Chen, this is the Prometheus. Earth is secure. I repeat, Earth is secure." In the war room, exhausted but triumphant, Earth's leaders allowed themselves a moment of celebration. They had faced the greatest threat in their history and emerged victorious. But as General Chen looked out at the holographic display, showing the aftermath of the battle and the stars beyond, she knew that this was only the beginning. The galaxy had seen what humanity was capable of, and nothing would ever be the same again. A new galactic order. The galaxy held its breath in the wake of Earth's stunning victory over the Zarkari assault. News of the battle spread like wildfire across subspace communications networks, reaching the farthest corners of known space. The once mighty hegemony, which had stood unchallenged for millennia, had been brought to its knees by a species many had dismissed as primitive just months before. On Zarkon Prime, the capital world of the hegemony, chaos reigned. The Grand Council chamber, once a place of ordered debate and political maneuvering, now echoed with shouts and accusations. High Arbiter Xontal struggled to maintain order as representatives from 1,000 worlds demanded answers, retribution, or simply a way forward in this new galactic reality. "Order. I demand order." Xontal's voice boomed across the chamber, finally bringing a semblance of quiet. "We stand at a crossroads, honored representatives. The galaxy as we have known it is changing. We must adapt, or we will perish." From the back of the chamber, a voice rang out. Vexera, the Kulari representative, who had been one of the first to extend a hand of friendship to Earth, stepped forward. "Adapt? We must do more than adapt, High Arbiter. We must reimagine our entire conception of galactic governance." She gestured to the holographic display at the center of the chamber, which showed the devastation wrought upon the Zarkari fleet. Earth has demonstrated not just technological superiority, but a fundamentally different approach to problem-solving and innovation. We would be fools to not learn from them. Murmurs of agreement rippled through the chamber, but they were met with shouts of protest from the old guard. The Droxy representative, his crystalline form pulsing with agitation, floated forward. Learn from them. They have upset the balance that has kept our galaxy stable for eons. They must be contained, studied, their technologies seized for the good of all. The chamber erupted once more into arguing, but a new sound cut through the cacophony. A sharp, clear tone rang out, and all eyes turned to its source. There at the entrance to the chamber stood Ambassador Sarah Chen, flanked by her team and a contingent of Earth's allies. Honored representatives of the galaxy, Chen's voice carried easily across the now silent room. We did not come here to be contained, nor to be studied like specimens in a lab. We came here to extend a hand in friendship and to offer a new vision for our shared future. She strode confidently to the center of the chamber, her team fanning out behind her. Dr. Yuki Tanaka stepped forward, activating a holographic display of her own. It showed not weapons or warships, but a dazzling array of scientific and technological marvels. What you see before you, Tanaka explained, her voice filled with passion, are just a few of the advancements we're prepared to share with the galaxy. Clean energy solutions that could end resource wars on 100 worlds. Medical technologies that could extend lifespans and cure diseases thought incurable. Terraforming techniques that could make barren worlds bloom. Major Diego Ortiz, the military strategist, stepped up next. And for those who think only of power and conquest, consider this. Earth's defensive capabilities, as you've seen, are formidable. But imagine those same technologies applied to disaster prevention, to safeguarding civilian populations, to exploring the deepest reaches of space. Ambassador Chen took center stage once more. We stand before you not as conquerors, but as partners. Earth is prepared to share its knowledge, its resources, and its unique perspective with all who are willing to embrace a new way forward. But make no mistake, we will not be subjugated, studied, or contained. We come as equals, or not at all. The chamber was silent for a long moment as the implications of her words sank in. Then, slowly at first, but with growing enthusiasm, voices of support began to rise. Vexera of the Quillari was the first to officially speak. The Quillari Collective stands with Earth. We have seen firsthand the benefits of collaboration with humanity. Their approach to cybernetics alone has advanced our society by centuries. Others followed suit. The Tellarites, a species known for their isolationism, shocked many by pledging their support. For too long, we have hidden from the galaxy, their representative declared. Earth has shown us that there is strength in openness, in the free exchange of ideas. Even some of the former hegemony loyalists began to waver. A Zarkari diplomat, his iridescent skin shifting in complex patterns of uncertainty, stepped forward. The Zarkari people have long prided ourselves on our strength, our traditions. But perhaps there is strength in change as well. We would hear more of this new vision. As more and more species pledged their support, or at least their willingness to listen, the mood in the chamber shifted. What had begun as a trial of sorts for Earth had transformed into the birth of something new. High Arbiter Xantal, reading the room, made a decision that would be remembered for millennia to come. Ambassador Chen, it seems the galaxy has spoken. We would formally request Earth's assistance in reshaping the galactic hegemony into a more equitable, innovative, and collaborative body. Chen nodded solemnly. We would be honored, High Arbiter. But let us not simply reshape the old. Let us build something new together. And so, over the weeks and months that followed, a new galactic order began to take shape. The galactic hegemony was dissolved, replaced by the Interstellar Cooperative Alliance. Earth took a leading role, but was careful to ensure that all voices were heard, all perspectives considered. The changes swept across the galaxy like a tidal wave. Earth's advanced AI systems, working in concert with the finest minds from 100 worlds, began tackling previously unsolvable problems. Climate disasters were averted, resource shortages eliminated, and new frontiers of science were breached almost daily. The Quillari's expertise in cybernetics, combined with human ingenuity, led to breakthroughs in neural interfacing that allowed even the most disparate species to communicate and share experiences directly. Zarkari energy manipulation techniques, once jealously guarded, were freely shared and improved upon. Entire star systems were transformed, with Dyson spheres and stellar engines becoming a reality rather than theoretical concepts. Earth's GAIA system was adapted for use on other worlds, allowing for precise environmental control and terraforming on a scale never before imagined. Barren worlds bloomed, and overcrowded planets found new hope in the stars. But perhaps the most profound change was in the realm of exploration and discovery. The combined knowledge and resources of the Alliance led to the development of new faster-than-light technologies. The barriers of distance that had kept much of the galaxy isolated began to fall away. 5 years after the fateful battle that had announced Earth's presence on the galactic stage, a new milestone was reached. The ISS Horizon, a ship of human design crewed by representatives from dozens of species, prepared to embark on a mission to explore beyond the known galaxy. On the bridge of the Horizon, Captain Aisha Okafor, the hero of the Battle of Earth, stood before her diverse crew. Humans worked alongside Zarkari, Quillari interfaced with ship systems, and a dozen other species manned stations and prepared for the journey ahead. My friends, Okafor addressed them, her voice carrying the weight of history. We stand at the dawn of a new era. Behind us lies a galaxy transformed, united in purpose and spirit, in a way none of us could have imagined just a few short years ago. Before us lies the unknown, new worlds, new species, new challenges, and opportunities. She paused, looking each crew member in the eye. We carry with us not just the hopes and dreams of our own worlds, but the combined knowledge and wisdom of a united galaxy. Whatever we face out there in the dark between the stars, we face it together. As the Horizon's engines hummed to life, preparing to propel them beyond the boundaries of known space, Okafor gave the order that would echo through history. Let's show the universe what we can do. Engage. And with that, humanity and its allies took their first steps into a larger galaxy, not as conquerors or subjects, but as explorers and friends. The stars, once thought cold and distant, now beckoned with endless possibility. The galactic hegemony, shocked by the advanced design of Earth's hidden fleet, had crumbled. In its place stood something far greater, a galaxy united, inspired, and ready to face the future together.